Hey guys, Chase Elite Fan 9WG here, back again with another video, and today we will be doing something a little different to the more recent videos on this channel. We will be starting a series. Ever since the new story mode in F1 2021 Breaking Point came out, I've had an idea to start an Aidan Jackson career mode, who is one of the main protagonists alongside Casper Ackerman and Devin Butler. This career mode takes place after the events of Breaking Point, and we will be driving as Aidan Jackson, either before he drove for Alfa Romeo or Haas. I really don't care which. But yeah, new series. Let's just hop straight into it. After putting a few R&D upgrades on our car, we simulate to the car reveal where we will watch our brand new car be revealed. After that very professional and ceremonious car reveal, we hop into our first Grand Prix in the Aidan Jackson career mode. As we head into our first quality session, it'll also be our first laps in anger here in the Bahrain Grand Prix circuit. As now we head towards the final two corners in this Bahrain Grand Prix circuit, which one of them shouldn't even be counted as a corner, as now we head towards the DRS zone, and it is open now. We fly towards the line. It is P2 just behind Lewis Hamilton. As now we skip to the end of Q1 now. We fell down to P8 because we didn't set another time. Carlos Sainz in P4, and eliminated is probably as expected. Both Williams, both Haas's, and an Alfa Romeo. As now we head into Q2. As now we head towards the final two corners in our first and only Q2 run. We come out of the final corner to the DRS zone. DRS is open. As we plunge towards the line, it is a 1:26.9. It'll put us P2 again behind Lewis Hamilton. As now we skip to the end of Q number 2, me and Carlos Sainz basically trade positions from Q1 as Lewis Hamilton tops out the session once again and eliminated our both Alpines, both AlphaTauris, and an Alfa Romeo as we head into our first Q3 session for Scuderia Ferrari. So far, really, in this qualifying session, it's been extremely consistent, not really any mistakes, but as you watch here, we get on the death curve, we kind of spin out, and we do a sick little 360 turn, and we continue the lap, but it ended up as a 1:29 and we were in P10, so we had to improve upon our lap, as now we head onto our final Q3 lap, and I'll let you watch the full lap.
You've dropped to P10. We come across the line after our final Q3 run, and let's see where that puts us. It
felt like a good lap, except the fact that we went wide in turn number 1, but we'll see.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top 3 today. Hamilton, Bottas and Max Verstappen. With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
Hamilton tops out the session as we go P5 here for our first
Fans
race.
really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy. It's been a great qualifying session for you. Are you going to carry that momentum into the race? It looks like you've really been focusing on research and development this season. Great. Well, that's everything.
Well done. That was a good qualifying performance.
No more testing, no more practice. This is the real deal. And it's make or break here at round 1 of this year's Formula One World Championship. Formula One returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36 mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities. It could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some point during the Grand Prix. So here we are in 2021 at the start of another Formula One World Championship. It all begins here. Mercedes looking to retain their hold on the title. Red Bull seeking to secure their position as the main contender for that title. Ferrari no doubt hoping for a fresh start following their difficulties last year. And elsewhere on the grid, the prospect of some really exciting battles, including between the newly rebranded Aston Martin and Alpine teams. Lots to discuss then with Anthony Davidson, who's joined me in the commentary box for today's event.
It's good to be back, Crofty. Let's hope for some good racing today. We can't know at this point how competitive these teams are relative to each other, but hopefully nobody is able to run and hide. We want to see these drivers pushing to the limit all the way to the checkered flag.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Perez, Jackson and Norris, Ricciardo, Vettel, Stroll and Carlos Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Esteban Ocon and Gasly, Raikkonen, Russell, Nikita Mazepin and Mick Schumacher, Giovinazzi and Nicholas Latifi. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
1 lights, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's lights and away we go. Hamilton gets a really good start now as we are in P5. Pay attention to us as we take a tentative start going into turn 1 and we get overtaken by Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris and Sebastian Vettel as well. But we get Sebastian Vettel back in the left-hander that is turn number 2 now. As we head into turn number 4, we try to go down the inside of Daniel Ricciardo, maybe get a move done on the Australian, but no, we have to settle for P7 on lap 1. As now we skip over to lap 2, we are all over the back of the Australian of Daniel Ricciardo. We try to go down the inside going into turn number 14, but it doesn't really work since we get stuck on the curb, and we won't have DRS just yet because it is only lap 2. As now it is lap 3 and we'll have DRS, but I'm really pushing. But that McLaren is really, really good in a straight line. Let's see if we can get a dive bomb or at least scare Ricciardo into a dive bomb. No, but he does lock up. And then if, on our point of view, he makes a mistake, but we don't have our point of view because the clip didn't upload. But and now, as we head into turn number 4, Ricciardo defends the inside. So we will go around the outside going into turn number 4. And we will get the move done on the Australian as we are now in P number 6 in this Bahrain Grand Prix. As we skip to the end of lap 3 with the DRS, Valtteri Bottas will be looking to make a move on Sergio Perez as they head into turn number 1. Bottas goes to the outside here as they head into turn number 1. This squabble will surely allow Lando Norris to maybe catch up and get whoever loses into the fight as they head down the short straightaway. And as you see, yes, Lando Norris has caught up and he tries to get a move done on Sergio Perez, but he isn't quite close enough, and this squabble has allowed us to catch up really quickly. As now we skip to lap number 4, we head down the front straightaway. I can't really tell if we have DRS because of this awkward camera angle, which I hate with a passion, but we try to catch up to Lando Norris, but that McLaren speed in a straight line is too much for us. Can't really get a move done going into turn 1, but we could realistically get a move done going into turn number 4 as we head out of turn number 3. The DRS is open. Can we go down the inside? Yes, we can. Down the inside of Lando Norris. We're going to be side by side in turn 4, but we get stuck on the curb, and Lando Norris will get the speed off the corner, and he will defend his position for P number 5. As now we skip to the end of that same lap, we are on the gearbox of Lando Norris. DRS is open. Can we get a move done going into turn number 1? We're going to go down the inside as we head into turn number 1. It's going to be side by side between the orange of the McLaren and the red of the Ferrari, two iconic colors in F1. As we do the switchback, we're going to be side by side. Can we do the same thing to Lando Norris as we did to his teammate Daniel Ricciardo? Norris defends, and we go down the inside, heading into turn number 4. And we get the move done for P5 on Lando Norris here in this Bahrain Grand Prix. As now we skip to the end of lap number 6 now, and we are coming in for our pit stop here. So this is our first and only pit stop, considering it's a 25% race, and maybe we can get an undercut on people like Sergio Perez and Valtteri Bottas now. Head into the pits, it'll be the mediums, the yellow wall tires here. As we exit our pit box, it will be in front of Daniel Ricciardo, who pitted before Lando Norris, as now we head out of the pit lane, and hopefully we don't get held up by traffic, and maybe we can get an undercut on Sergio Perez. As now we skip to the end of lap number 7, now we head into the final 2 corners in this Bahrain Grand Prix circuit. Perez is pitting along with Carlos Sainz, and I think Hamilton's in as well. Bottas is in. As we fly down the front straightaway, we do get the undercut on Sergio Perez, and it looks like just ahead of us, that is Valtteri Bottas for hypothetical P3. He is stuck in traffic. Yes, he is. He's stuck behind the Alfa Romeo of Antonio Giovinazzi and the Alfa Tauri of Yuki Tsunoda. I couldn't speak there for a second. As now Bottas tries to get a move done on Giovinazzi, and he does, and now we have to pass our fellow Ferrari engine runner of Antonio Giovinazzi as we head into the S's now, and we look like we can go for a move. Yes, we do. We go down the inside, and Giovinazzi just turns in on us on old tires and not even pitted yet. Giovinazzi turns into us. We check for damage. We luckily have none, but that could have been catastrophic to our race, as now Bottas is still being held behind Yuki Tsunoda here as we head to the end of lap number 8, as we head down the final one of the final straightaways, not the final straightaway. As Bottas will try to go down the inside of Yuki Tsunoda, and we are hoping that they stay side by side, but Bottas does get ahead of Tsunoda. And as now Tsunoda should pit this lap, and yes, he does. Tsunoda does pit, as now Bottas is ahead of us, and that'll be for our first podium for Ferrari, and our first podium in our Ferrari debut. We try to go down the inside here in turn number 1, which kind of is a happy underground for us. Try to get the switch back on Bottas. We might be side by side down the straightaway, just like Lando Norris and us a few laps before, but no. We try to go down the inside of Bottas, but again, we get stuck on that inside curb, and Bottas will get the run off, and eventually I have to back off, considering you cannot go side by side through these S's. As we head on to lap number 11 now, we try to go down the inside of the Mercedes, but we fake the dive bomb now, hopefully forcing Bottas into a mistake, but he does not make a single mistake, not even a lockup. As now we head down the short straightaway. Can we get a move done going into turn number 4? We try the dive bomb, but this time we do get on the inside curb, but Bottas backs out for some reason. We make it stick on that inside, and we will take P3 for our first podium, hopefully for Ferrari. as we head on lap number 11 now, coming to lap number 12, and on this straightaway, I'm sure we all know what's about to happen next. A Mercedes with DRS versus a Ferrari is an easy overtake no matter what you say in 2021, as now we tuck in behind the Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas as we head into turn number 1. We could get the overtaking done going down the short straightaway as we head into turns number 3 and 4. DRS is open. We do not enable any overtake because we want to try and go for a last lap dash if we can, but into turn number 4 we cannot get the move done and he gets the runoff, and after that, that's basically all she wrote. The tires have completely gone off with the battling we were having, and I just lost to Bottas. But now, as we head into the final corners, it'll be Lewis Hamilton winning the Bahrain Grand Prix. I'm sure no surprises there. But anyways, that'll be the video. I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.